So today we're going to continue our discussion on the Century of Humiliation. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then watch part 1. So anyways, let's get right into it. So it's 1894 and there's a chunk of land right here known as Korea. Before it was known for overrated music and obese missile enthusiasts, it was just a random peninsula. So China had influence in Korea and Japan also wanted to have influence in Korea, so they decided to invade it. This made the Chinese mad, so they started fighting the Japanese, but the thing is, the Japanese were actually competent, so around 35,000 Chinese were killed or wounded while the Japanese only lost 1,000 men. China lost influence in Korea, and the Japanese took some land here, but Chinese also lost this little island right here that totally won't cause any controversy in the future. So the Chinese people are getting mad that every time war gets declared on them, they lose harder than a blind man playing Halo, so they decided to start a rebellion in China called the Boxer Rebellion. So at first, the Boxer Rebellion was doing good, then the Eight Nation Alliance got involved. The Eight Nation Alliance was a group of nations who had influence in China and were worried if the Boxers won, they would lose all their influence in China. So the Chinese emperor thought the Boxers were pretty chill and decided to side with them. But the next part is shocking. Despite all odds against them, the Chinese won every battle they fought, and I am lying. They got beaten so hard they lost all of Manchuria. I would put the casualty count on screen so we can all go laugh at China and their incompetence, but there is no casualty count from what I can find. So in 1911, the final dynasty of China fell. The Qing were overthrown and replaced with the Republic of China, which only 5 years after they gained power, the Chinese Civil War happened. With China weaker than ever, the Japanese decided to take the opportunity and invade Manchuria. Then the Marco Polo Bridge incident happened, where a group of soldiers wanted entry into a small Chinese town, and they were denied access. Then they heard a gunshot, and that event kicked off the Second Sino-Japanese War. So the Japanese made many victories in northern China, capturing the major cities of Beijing and Tianjin. The Japanese also invaded Shanghai, and shortly after capturing it, the Japanese took the capital of Nanking. Soon after, the Chinese moved the capital to the city of Wuhan. To slow down the Japanese, the Chinese flooded the Yellow River, one of the biggest rivers in China. The flooding did nothing but destroy crops and kill civilians, and the Japanese took Wuhan shortly after. So the Chinese moved the capital to Chongqing to the west, and after this, the Japanese advance into China had been slowed down, and in a few years, the Japanese lost the war. Shortly after the Second Sino-Japanese War ended, the Chinese Civil War continued, ending with the Communists winning. So at this point, the Century of Humiliation ended and China's slow rise to power began. So that's it for today. I think this video can teach us one thing, is that we should start learning Mandarin. Bye!